course, we expected more. I mean, the Dodgers have pitched well. Surprised. I mean, it's somewhat surprising. A little bit. I don't want to use the word disappointing. Our guys are really working very hard. They've pitched well. Hit a couple balls well, but for overall, the 3 games, I guess their relief pitchers have pretty much thrown a no-hitter against us, so they've been pretty good.
Next question.
Yes, sir.
Right here. Just wait for the microphone.
Can you talk about the difference of Yu Darvish pitching 1 year ago? He was kind of a four-seamer slider pitcher.
Who are we talking about? I'm sorry.
Yu Darvish.
Okay.
1 year ago, four-seamer to slider pitcher.
Right.
Today, cutter, two-seamer. So did you notice the difference, and are you surprised?
Well, we had a chance, obviously, early. We hit some balls well early in the game, and then he kind of settled in. We talked about that before the game. Not necessarily surprised, no. He was not throwing his fastball nearly as often as he has in the past. I did notice that. He's more of a breaking ball pitcher now than he had been. Relies much more, like you're saying, cutter and all the other stuff. But he had really good command of it. That's the thing. He was throwing the ball where he wanted to. The one thing I've always appreciated about him is that I've always thought him to be a very good command pitcher. And so give him credit, man. He threw the ball really well. Maybe a reinvention of himself, possibly, but I've always seen good stuff from him.
Fourth row to the left.
Yes, sir.
Joe, you've been asked a lot this postseason about the difference between starting pitching and the length that those guys go in the postseason compared to the regular season. How much more difficult for you personally is it to keep that leash kind of short on your starting pitching when you don't know what you're going to get from your bullpen?
Well, it's you got to, like right there, I thought Kyle actually had good stuff, I thought, from the side, although they were taking good swings. They hit a couple home runs. But when it got to that point, I'm looking for no contact at all. I'm looking for CJ to get out of that inning, obviously. And then you just try to piece it together after that. We had a full complement tonight, so I was okay with it. Some nights you don't, and it's a little bit more difficult. But, yeah, I've talked about that actually before the game. I think that we need more length out of our starters. And I just thought under the circumstances tonight, had there been a maybe not rested bullpen, I might have done something differently. But I thought CJ was the right man. And it's just a walk right there. The 2 walks really hurt us. Otherwise, he didn't give anything up.
Third row, Phil.
Joe, if there was a turning point tonight, was it Jay's at bat in the first? Did you feel like you had him on the ropes? And what do you take out of this that maybe makes you feel better about tomorrow's game?
Well, I felt good about Jay's at bat. I mean, like we were just talking about, we had a chance to get on him early, and I really like John in that spot because that's the guy you really think is going to move the baseball. And he might not get a hit, but you think he's going to move the baseball. And, probably looking something like soft, and all of a sudden he blew a fastball right by him. But that was probably a significant moment in tonight's game. We had a chance to jump on. So some really good at-bats, hit the ball hard in the first inning, probably as well as we did all night. But after that it was – listen, just the fact that, our guys, they got that little wristband on it. We never quit, something we've talked about for the last 3 years. Not easy, obviously. It's been done before. Theo saw it. So we have to figure out a way. It's going to be – a lot of it's contingent upon Jake tomorrow. Jake being able to pitch more deeply into the game is going to be very important for us tomorrow, I believe. Grabbing a lead and just hitting their pitchers finally. I mean, they've pretty much stifled us.
Back to the left, fourth row.
Yes.
Joe, Carl against Darvish. Is it more difficult to pitch to a guy who has never really had much offensive
he's
success?
not going to swing either. That's part of it. It's just it's like you're in the bullpen. Just throw it right to the catcher if you can, and then their hardest hitter comes up, Taylor, and he strikes him out. I mean, that's the nature of the beast. I am certain they told Darvish not to swing, which is a great tact in that situation. But it's frustrating. I was going to actually, if Barnes had made an out and first base was open, I was going to walk Peterson and make them do something right there. Although I know that CJ may have that issue, but that was the right thing to do. It worked out that way, and we walk him and strike out Taylor. It's called baseball.
Back row to the right.
Joe, with the full bullpen tonight, in the fourth, you have 2 on, 2 out. Is that a spot where you consider?
I'm sorry, I missed the first part.
Yeah, I apologize. In the fourth this evening, 2 on, 2 out with Kyle at the plate with the full bullpen tonight. Is that a spot where you consider an early hook at all?
No, the score was like 1-0 or whatever at that point, or 1-1 exactly. And I just got done talking. I knew that we needed more out of him in order to win the game. I mean, you could go there Darvish was throwing the ball pretty well. To me, that was way too early to make that kind of decision based on what we needed to win the game tonight.
Back to the left by the window.
Hey, Joe.
Yes, sir.
You were here before in 2015, 0-3 to the Mets. Different team, different
Right.
time. Do you talk to your team at all, or is it just pretty much?
No, I don't go out of my normal patterns. I have 3 meetings during the season, 1 in spring training, 1 at the All-Star break, and 1 before the first playoff game. We've done that the last 3 years. There's nothing inspirational I could possibly say that's going to make a difference. We just got to go out and play our normal game tomorrow. The biggest difference between that series and this one, the weather's much better. I mean, between now and that Mets series, you would really there's no, from our hitting perspective, we have good weather to hit in, and I really anticipate, hopefully, that we're going to come out stronger tomorrow at the plate.
Back to Phil.
Yes,
Is
sir.
Wilson okay?
Yeah, he got crossed up, and I was a little bit concerned. He said he's fine, how tough he is, but it was getting a little bit red. It hit him like right here in the forearm, and under the circumstances, I thought it was better to make sure he got ice on it and play tomorrow as opposed to having it stiffer and sore tonight and maybe risk him playing tomorrow. So before I came over, they were saying PJ, our trainer, said he's doing pretty good, so there should be no issues. Yes,
To
sir.
the center, third row.
Joe, given how these 3 games have gone, what gives you confidence he can turn it around tomorrow?
Well, just our guys. I mean, listen, I'm not going to sit here and throw a lot of hyperbole your way. I mean, it's just about our guys. I mean, you have to, your back's absolutely against the wall. Tomorrow is a Game 7. We have 4 Game 7s in a row coming up right now. So it's just about, we got to counterpunch at some point, and that's absolutely necessary tomorrow. We need to gain some kind of mental momentum, and obviously that's our last chance to do it tomorrow. So I've talked about trusting your guys. I've said that all year. I trust our guys. It's been an unusual route to get to this point right now also. So let's just stay with it. Don't come out of your normal patterns and go out and play, hopefully, the kind of game we can tomorrow.
1 row back to the right.
Joe, going with getting Happ into center down the stretch there, was that the idea of trying to get his power into the lineup and see if he can do something?
Well, it was just a double switch, basically. I didn't know, how long we were going to ride that pitcher that got in the game if we had started scoring some runs. There was a chance that Watson would be in the game, and that was a good matchup for Happer. Didn't play out, but it was a good matchup. So there's all those things you got to think of in advance. So it was a double switch. Ian, good matchup against the guy coming out of the bullpen who didn't play.